News dump. That's right. 3 straight news dumps. Kind
Is that
of.
where we're at?
Well, the first one at the beginning of the week wasn't really a news dump. That's kind of its own episode.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, everything but the game.
We do that every year. Yeah.
Yeah, so deal with it, guys. I'm not lazy. You're lazy.
We get a lot of news this week. What do you want us to do?
So much news. I wanted to try and figure out a topic that had to do with this, but you know what? We have to talk about it first. But before we do that, Mac, put a poll up on Twitter, X, if you will, asking the people that if they had to wear an eye patch over one of their eyes for the rest of their lives, people went left eye.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I saw some preliminary numbers. I don't know what the percentages finished off at.
63.
Yeah, that's way too low. It should have been like 85-15, the exact split of lefties and righties, because, if you're a right-handed human being, your right eye is going to be just a little bit more important, because anytime you got to reach or grab something, you'll have to now turn your head, because your left eye would be the one you're using if you block the right eye. So it just makes sense to block the
yeah, I mean, think of all this. With your left eye covered, you could swap out that patch with a fried egg, with a condom, maybe some eye black underneath, and you can join a TLC cover band.
There you go. There you go. Possibilities are endless.
Rainbow yesterday, but too many storms.
You just got to creep.
Yeah.
Come on. That is, I talk about that movie as often as I can.
Yeah.
That has slowly crept up my all-time favorite comedies. Like,
yeah,
it might not be number 5, but it's getting pretty damn close to my top 5. It gets better every time you watch it. It's so good.
And also, talking about TLC, I believe I've already said this in the podcast before. There was only one music video that was banned in my household that me, my brother, my sister were not allowed to watch.
Really?
And that was Red Light Special.
I don't think my mom was hip enough to the happenings to ban anything in my household. I don't remember not being able to not watch certain things. I just had a strict curfew. TV had to be off at 8:30 or 9 whenever I was younger. And I would just turn it back on when she left the room. But when I got caught, there would be repercussions.
Get on that red light.
And
my
father. There's no rules when it comes to my father. So
the only rules are there are no rules. News dump. Mac, huge casting news, kind of out of nowhere. They announced it as a Valentine's Day thing, and that is Marvel Entertainment telling us our Fantastic Four cast. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Sturm. Marco Sturm. No, Marco Sturm. Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach as the Thing.
So a few things here, obviously. Yes. Pascal has long been rumored in this and got nearly confirmed a couple weeks ago. We talked about that briefly. I'm happy with that. Obviously we all like Pedro Pascal. I am starting to think maybe Pedro Pascal's doing a little too much. Maybe reining in a little bit.
I also wouldn't mind if he was a little bit younger.
I agree with that, but I think at 48 years old, Pedro Pascal can pass for 38. So I'm okay with that.
I think he could pass for 42.
All right, we're splitting
guys, go on X right now and just tell us a number.
He's got to be old enough to convey the smartest man in the universe type thing, though. And I think that 35 to 45 range is good enough.
Well, just with that little streak of hair on the side, you look older or you look smarter.
Yeah, I'll never have that because I don't have hair.
I only have that. That's where all of my white hair is, only on the sides.
Vanessa Kirby, absolute queen. Love her for Sue Storm. She's great in the Mission Impossible movies. Dude, the biggest news here for me was Joseph Quinn being confirmed as Johnny Storm. A pretty atypical Johnny Storm casting. He doesn't strike you as the heartthrob.
He's not the
athlete.
hunk. He's not a hunk.
Now, I think he will be that hunk when we see him on screen. I was going to say,
so we've seen Chris Pratt, we've seen Paul Rudd,
Kumail
Nanjiani, goofier actors who have been known more for their comedic chops or, television roles. And then they step up here and you're like, ooh, let me get some clothes to wash on those abs.
What I do like, though, is I think he will play well as the younger brother of Vanessa Kirby. So I like that pair being casted as such. And then Eben, Moss Backrack. I don't know how you pronounce his name. He's obviously, gotten uber famous from The Bear. He was in Girls. He's in Andor. We also got to remember, I forgot about this. He was the fuck was his name? He was the tech guy in The Punisher. He was like the
Oh, that's right.
Punisher's
Yes.
right-hand man there. I forgot that was him. He's a very good actor. So I think his voice is like the perfect grizzly voice for the Thing. So I really like that casting as well. And more importantly, he's 46 years old. Also, I think could pass for 38. But the age thing is important here, Goose. So it's okay for Sue and Johnny to be a little bit younger. Vanessa Kirby's 35, Joseph Quinn's 30, because they're siblings. But Pedro Pascal and even Moss Backrack being close in age, I like, because they're supposed to be like best friends, right? Growing up or went to college roommates together. And that all ties into the Doom stuff too. Victor Von Doom was also supposed to be their age. So I think on the whole, like on the surface level, they did a pretty good job casting this movie. Now, I don't know how it's all going to play out. Like, I'm just a little worried because Pedro Pascal is so over the top famous now because everything he's done in the last 5 years. That this is a little bit.
Would you put him
much.
top 10 most famous in the world? Keep in mind, one of his characters wears a helmet.
Yeah, still would. He's probably still up there. I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna be a thumbs down to Pedro Pascal. I just like the other three are on a much lower level of fame than him. So I would have preferred all four to sort of be in the same realm.
And also a little Easter egg in the shot of the actors as the characters from Marvel. You saw the Thing reading a Time magazine from December 13th, 1963. Little photo of LBJ on the cover, kind of giving us maybe this is the time frame in which they live.
Yeah, and we also see that just like the whole aesthetic of the poster looks like it's 60s era. So it seems to me, and there had been rumors of this. This was one of the pitches. I know New Rockstars has talked about it a little bit.
Make an Austin Powers movie.
But setting this movie in the 50s and 60s and truly them being like the first family of Marvel, the first heroes, first soups that we know about. But for them to do that, it's going to have to be set in a different universe, which I think this is
possibly,
going to be.
But also I think just using that aesthetic is going to be huge for them, just to kind of make it look different and feel different from a lot of what they've given us recently.
And I think because critics are so fucking fart sniffy, they love period pieces. They're going to eat up this 60s aesthetic.
They love Mad Men. Ooh, what if it's Mad Men?
Ooh, I never thought about that.
Well, I've already pitched you is that I think what should happen is at the end of this movie, they get frozen and then they get brought back in the 90s. And then someone steals their mojo.
Yeah, there you go. I think, and we'll jump to also the movie got a new release date. It got bumped back a couple months, right? Swapped with the Thunderbolts.
Take your time, baby. Take your time.
May to July. So this is coming out in July 2025. The other piece of news here that was separate from this, but it ties in. Ben Mendelsohn, for whatever reason, so maybe he has had preliminary talks about it, said that he would give his eyes and teeth to play Dr. Doom. And I really wouldn't like that.
Well, because why would you want an actor with no eyes and teeth playing a character?
That's a great point, number one. Number two, apparently he's 54 years old. You did some nice research there.
Thank you.
He looks like he's 60, and he can't pass for 40 like Pascal can. So you need Doom to come off as a close friend to this Fantastic Four, at least to Mr. Fantastic. And I don't think Mendelsohn can do that. I want someone also a little beefier for that role.
So he did have a great quote in GQ saying that Dr. Doom is the great unread Marvel character that could and should be done. Do you want Cillian Murphy?
That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good. And at the very least, he can match Pascal's fame, and that's a good A and B right there.
Because that seems to be everyone's fan casting on social media.
Yeah, that would be pretty good and gives sort of, it almost closes the loop, ends Cillian Murphy's story as like, because he was like the B and C villain in that Nolan verse, and it'd be nice to get the A tier villain. Dr. Doom, I think they are purposefully being very slow and close to the vest with, because that is probably the next real big bad they're going to do in Marvel, and they got to get it right. Because say what you want about, the first 4 phases and leading up to Infinity War and Endgame, it never would have worked if Thanos didn't play out as well as it did, So just get Doom right, and I think it can excuse a lot of places where they fall short.
How about Fassbender?
That would work too. Yep, that would.
But
work
is he
too.
too known for Magneto?
Yep, and a sense since like we're crossing into X-Men, like we don't really know how that's gonna work, but
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Also, I was watching his men's health thing from like 2 months ago about his diet, and it's really funny because he just doesn't have one. Like they're asking him, like, "Oh, how do you stay in shape?" Well, I don't eat breakfast, but I have a ton of coffee. Then I eat a big lunch. I eat a big dinner.
I just imagine him ripping butts, drinking coffee and booze. That's his.
That's
diet.
all it is. And they're like, okay. And they had to put a bunch of like blurbs on there about like how to actually be healthy.
And he's got a massive hog on him too. That man lives life.
That's how he does his leg exercise. Is just picking up his hog. News dip. Speaking of the X-Men, I didn't even do a fucking ticker on this one. I'll fix all these in a second. But Mac, we got our first trailer, our first look at X-Men 97, and this meets everything that I want from the show.
This was surely one of the 3 or 4 things we were most excited about when it was first announced, maybe 3 years ago now by Marvel, or maybe 2.5. We're all in on this. It's, Goo has Batman the Animated Series #1 from the 90s. I have X-Men #1, but we can agree that this is a massive part of our childhood. So picking up where the old show left off is awesome. I will say though, Goo, the animation's a little bizarre.
Is it too clean for you?
It's like a clean, dirty thing. Like the old stuff is a little messier and a little more crass because that's what the technology was. It almost like they tried to polish that, but now it doesn't look like that, and it doesn't look new. It looks.
Does it look
weird.
more like X-Men Evolution that came out around like 01?
It just looks like it's lost somewhere in between everything. It doesn't really have its own identity.
But story-wise, if they nail the story, so they're picking up right from the death of Charles. Cyclops is the new leader, which then creates a whole great thing between him and Wolverine. Jean is pregnant. She's got crazy outfits on. We see this amazing fucking combo move with Wolverine and Cyclops, where Cyclops jumps on Wolverine's back and like puts his power into him, and then Wolverine has those claws going on.
Looks awesome.
It looks amazing.
But
doesn't make any sense.
Practicality of it. It's not like you can throw Wolverine's claws, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
But you can throw Wolverine.
That's true. I
like in X3. Remember that?
I got to go back and rewatch the series.
I am too. Shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
Should we
Shit.
do an X-Men episode draft?
No, I wouldn't want to do an episode draft. Maybe we could just do an episode about the show.
I think we would do an X-Men episode draft, and then because there's so many 2 and 3 parters, when you take a 3-parter, you just lose your next 3 picks. This should take about 5 minutes because they're all 3-parters.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. We could just draft an X-Men lineup again.
No, we're not doing that again. We've already done that. We've already done that.
Like X-Men. Can I have 5? X-Men. Can I have 5 Wolverines, please? Correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of the series, doesn't Magneto not come back into the fold?
Well, but hear me out. At the end of this trailer, Magneto pops up, and he's left everything, actually, not just the school. He's left everything by Charles Xavier. So do the X-Men now venture off and do their own thing? Do they work for Magneto? Is Magneto good now? Is he going to try and teeter that line to keep his team? I don't know. This is all good stuff.
Yeah, but again, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought at the end of the series, the previous series, Magneto had basically taken Charles's spot and everyone was good. We were all in agreement. And this trailer makes it seem like no one's seen Magneto in years.
It seems like I have to watch that show again.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch it again.
Yeah.
From what I recall, Magneto was back in the fold. But
from what I recall, the show kind of ended and they had more things planned and it was just kind of canceled.
Okay. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Either way, get me all of this.
And this comes out
in March 20th.
End of March.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the shit out of this.
Oh, yeah. Did we get an episode or episode number? Or
no, I didn't see that.
Okay. All right.
I would also like episode titles too. News dump. Deadpool 3 broke the internet. Of course, they had the little teaser during the Super Bowl. They put the full trailer on YouTube, and it is the highest movie trailer viewing of all time in 24 hours, 365 million views, beating several other MCU properties and Transformers Rise of Beasts.
Yeah, weird that that's tossed
I
in
know,
there.
it's really funny.
I'll tell you, we're like 4 months away from everyone being like, by dadgummit, Marvel's done it again. Just by starving us a little bit and having one movie coming out this year, the whole world was like, fuck yeah, we get a Marvel movie. Like,
I'm calling it right now. You said that you're waiting 4 months. I'm saying right now Marvel's back.
It's incredible. Everyone was so...
What a great week. A Deadpool trailer, an X-Men 97 trailer, and casting news.
Everyone was talking about how Marvel's dead, Marvel's losing it, the MCU stinks, and then next thing you know, 400 people watch a trailer in 3 days.
400 million, not 400.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I said 400 million.
They aren't looking for Mac and Goo videos. They're looking for fucking movie trailers. News dump. No go on a Hulk movie. Mark Ruffalo said that Kevin Feige told him that a Hulk movie will never happen.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I don't think anyone's clamoring for a Hulk movie.
I think it's distribution rights. Also, people have been kind of clamoring for it. They wanted the Planet Hulk movie. Maybe you do something with Skarn? His son with the weird hair.
Sure.
But they already kind of did that in phase 3, so you might be borrowing too much there.
We got Ragnarok. That's a good
We got Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If they made a Hulk movie, I'd watch.
And not for nothing, like Endgame is heavy on Professor Hulk too. So that's...
The first Avengers 2 also very heavy on Hulk.
Yeah, we got
Ultron heavy on Hulk.
Plenty of Hulk.
Also, he said that there is no Hulk or none of his Hulk in the Thunderbolts. Wait, did he say that or not in Captain America? He said it's not in one of those movies.
I think he has to be in Thunderbolts.
Okay, so it's in one of those movies. I don't have it in front of me, so don't fucking stop prying. News dump. It has been said that... Where are we? There we go. It has been said by Shamik Moore that Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse will be the best of the trilogy.
And Shamik Moore, for those of you at home that don't recognize the name, is the voice actor for Miles Morales in these movies. And I shouldn't say like, yeah, no shit, because it's going to be really hard to top that last movie. I think we are in a situation where, because everything that last movie was so amazing and the ending was such a good cliffhanger, it's going to be hard for this plane to land and satisfy us as much as it needs to. However, I doubted that the second movie was going to be as good as the first one. So throw what I say out the window. This could be... I think that movie, the second movie, is the best animated movie of all time. And so basically he's saying this is going to be better than the best animated movie of all time. Maybe it will be.
News dump. Hey, Amy Pascal, what are we going to get a live-action Spider-Man movie? Live-action Miles Morales. After we do 2 more Spider-Verse movies. That's what she said. That was them right there. Someone asked her.
It was later clarified the next Spider-Verse movie and then also the Tom Holland movie are the next 2 movies she was talking about.
Oh. So people thought at first it was going to be a Miles Morales and then a Spider-Woman movie with Gwen Stacy.
Nope.
Which I kind of wish they were doing.
We got enough of that in the first act of this past movie. So
you wouldn't want more? That. It was pretty fucking good.
I don't know what's left to tell in that universe.
Who cares?
To be honest with you.
Figure it out.
She is referring to Beyond the Spider-Verse and the 4th Tom Holland movie. I hope that Sony has fucked up so bad, and they are. Again, Madam Web is maybe the worst movie they've made.
We're getting to that next. Yep.
I hope that the Sonyverse is so dead that they won't have the ability to make a Miles Morales movie.
Unless they are working with Disney and those other characters.
Yes.
But just make these movies. Don't rush anything. You've rushed this next year. Don't rush anything with a character that we actually care about.
My favorite Nelly line of all time, Goo, comes from the song Pimp Juice off the album Nellyville.
And we all know it.
Yep. You ain't from Russia, so bitch, why you Russian?
News dump. Speaking of Madame Web, it is in theaters as I speak, and Roddy Tease is not too kind to it. 15% from the critics, 49 from the audience, a Metacritic of 29. But having said that, I am super excited to see this.
Yeah, to expand upon that a little bit, it is very rare for a movie to see a score in the 20s on Metacritic. So that tells you it's all-time bad, and also possibly gets into the territory of laughably bad. I'm actually going to see the movie in 45 minutes, and I am either prepared to walk out of there or have one of the greatest cinematic experiences I've ever had. Also, I am currently the only person scheduled to be in the theater.
No post-credit scene. That has been reported. Dakota Johnson also said that she would do a sequel. I'm assuming that's because she wants money. And also, she'll eventually see this movie.
Why is she talking so much? Who stopped talking to her? Everyone stopped talking to her.
I feel like I would just lose all of my energy talking to her because she's not bouncing anything back at you.
She is the... I'm sorry. I'm still getting over being a little sick, so bear with me.
I can hear that, yeah.
She is an energy vampire. Like, what's his face from the TV version of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
It's fucking, she just drains people. It's fucking perfect.
News dump. Got a trailer for Invincible Season 2, Part 2.
Yeah, this is coming back to Prime on March 14th. A lot of pizzazz in the trailer. And Goo, I got to be honest, the Part 1 of Season 2 has been disjointed, and they're not really like going straight as far as the story's going. I want the story to be a little more focused than what we've gotten, and this trailer made it seem like it's going to be even less focused. So I'm sure it's going to be fun, and it's one of the more unique things on television. I want them, their scope is a little too wide right now. I want them to come back in a little bit.
News down. For Valentine's Day, we got some stills from Todd Phillips for the Joker, Folie, Deux. We got some dancing, got some staring. We've got some love, if you will, Mac. And he has also told us that we will get a teaser trailer in April.
The more confusing thing here is...
Yes, go ahead.
We have been thinking this is going to be a full-out musical for a year and a half, 2 years, ever since they cast Gaga. And now they're pumping the brakes on that, saying there'll be music in the film, but it's not a musical per se. So at what point does a film become a musical? How many sing and dances do you need to have in a movie for it to be a musical?
2. I think 1 is, that could be a parody. That could be a joke.
So like the 40-year-old virgin at the end of that gets their 1, not a musical.
Clerks 2, you have ABC in there, but it's not a musical. You just get that 1 musical number as a joke.
So 2. I would say 3. I feel more comfortable with 3. A few.
Yeah. A handful.
Because a couple is probably not enough, but 3 is a few.
So anything more than a cup of 2 tray.
Like 2 doesn't do it for me. 3, now I'm starting to feel like it's a musical.
What if it's 2 in 1 act? Like how far are they?
Because then it's going to come more off like a fever dream type of stuff.
Yeah. Which that's what
maybe
this movie might be.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be that.
Like maybe it just starts out normal, and then the second act is all music, and then the third act is all in black and white.
I don't like them catching on to our hopes and expectations for the film, and them being like, don't expect that. Don't hope for that. That's not a good sign.
News down. Christopher Nolan, while talking to the New York Times, said that he would like to thank Marvel for keeping the movie business going during COVID.
This is just saving face now.
No, he's
just trying to be a nice guy.
He's always been this way.
I know. Like, what's he just trying to stand out among the Scorseses?
No, he loves movies in general. He loves theater going experience.
I agree. I'm not saying.
I know that we've talked about this too, but he's discussed like maybe I would like to make a smaller scale movie, but it is my responsibility now to keep these big scale movies going because other people would give their eyes and teeth.
At the height of COVID.
Is that a British thing? I know Mendelssohn's Australian, but offering your eyes and teeth, is that something from overseas?
Before. Yeah. I would offer up pretty much everything else on my body besides my eyes and teeth, to be honest.
If you had to offer up one body part right now for something, what would you offer?
An arm.
A full arm? I would offer one of my toes, like one of the middle toes.
Oh, this doesn't count. I don't think a toe counts. It's got to be like the full digits.
Tell that to those who have diabetes.
If you're talking that, no, I'd rather lose a finger than a toe.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No way. Which
you
finger?
can grip things with like 2 fingers, 3 fingers.
And I mean, first up, I need my thumbs. I'm not losing my thumbs.
As you remember, when I was 15, I nearly lost a toe, rehabbed that injury before the season. I almost missed the beginning of the hockey season, junior year. Dropped a television on my toe, almost lost the toe.
Oh.
It was my pinky toe. And
so you need the pinky toe for balance, though.
The podiatrist, or whatever the name of the foot doctor is, said that if they had to take my toe, I was going to have to relearn how to walk. You don't have to do that when you lose a finger.
And you said, Doc, don't worry, I never learned in the first place. No, I would lose like the ring toe or like the middle toe of my foot. You can walk with that.
Toes are much more important than fingers. No doubt.
The index toe, the thumb toe, and the pinky toe. Those are the toes that you need.
I would say if you were to rank your 20 fingers and toes, the only fingers that would be in the top 10 are index and thumb. And thumb isn't even technically a finger. All 10 toes are important. Only 2 fingers are important.
You use your middle finger more than most.
Yeah, still not important. You just need these little fucking snip snaps here. That's it.
I would have my thumb at number 1. Both of my thumbs. I'm not losing either thumb. My right thumb more than my left thumb.
Plus, if you lose a thumb, what are you going to stick up someone's ass?
That's my thinking. That's my thought as well. I need my index finger on both hands, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the only 2 fingers you need.
No, and then you need one of these 2 guys.
It would be nice to have one of those 2, but you don't need them.
For gripping purposes, you need one of those 2 guys.
It would be nice to have one of those 2.
This has really got me thinking.
Yeah, you just need 2.
Guys, tell us what phalange you'd get rid of.
That's why, Goo, when they make those extendo grabbers for olds, it's just got 2 things on them. You just need 2.
You want to go through life going like this?
Or this. You could do it sideways, too.
I would need at least a little something here.
I just need 2.
I would also offer, I think, all of my left fingers over my right, besides my thumb.
Yeah, this is back to the left eye, right eye thing.
Well, I'm a righty. I need my fingers on my right hand.
I need my right eye.
They do different things. News dump. Whatever Christopher Nolan said, I don't know. Samuel L. Jackson wants to make a Mace Windu show, telling Empire Magazine he's not dead.
If you can't nail the Obi-Wan show starring Ewan McGregor, ain't no chance in hell you're nailing the Mace Windu show and somehow explaining how he didn't die falling out that window.
There was a bed. There's a mattress on the floor. He fell onto a trampoline.
No, you'll just see
somewhere.
You'll just see fucking, I don't know. You'll see Jar Jar flying by underneath, and he just falls in the car next to him.
Or he falls on Jar Jar. Jar Jar dies, but it saves his life.
But Mace Windu survives.
News dump. Got a trailer for Godzilla times Kong divided by the new Empire. And Mac, I am so fucking confused as to what this movie is.
I don't think this movie is going to be very good. I really am starting to think it's going to be fucking terrible.
Can I read my notes to you?
Yeah.
Pyramids. Center of Earth.
Yep.
Baby monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey Wars. Another kaiju. Maybe another Godzilla. Friends. They built a gauntlet.
I think we have found out there's only room on this planet for one monkey franchise, and Planet of the Apes is going to be superior.
You didn't like the baby monkey?
No.
Although I think it's the baby of his enemy, because in the trailer they go, it's a baby Kong, but the hair resembled the other monkey.
Well, also, who's Kong fucking to make a baby?
No, there's a bunch of monkeys at the center of the earth.
Yeah.
I would imagine he goes down there and he's king shit.
We explored that world in the last movie, didn't we?
A bit. A smidge.
Yeah. I don't care for that center of the earth stuff.
News dump.